Welcome to our exploration of white cats versus black cats. Today we're delving into a fascinating aspect of feline perception, the perception paradox. Let's start by unraveling the historical and cultural tapestry that surrounds these differently colored felines. Throughout history, the color of a cat has carried immense symbolic weight, often shaping human perceptions in profound ways. What can you tell us about the origins of these color-based stereotypes?
It's remarkable how deeply ingrained these perceptions are in our collective consciousness. The superstitions surrounding black cats, for instance, can be traced back to medieval Europe, where they were often associated with witchcraft and bad luck. This association led to widespread persecution of black cats and, sadly, their owners. On the flip side, white cats have often been revered in various cultures as symbols of purity and good fortune. In Japan, for example, the maneki neko, often portrayed as a white cat, is believed to bring good luck and prosperity.
That's a compelling contrast. It's intriguing how these color-based perceptions can vary so dramatically across cultures. Do you think these historical associations continue to influence modern-day attitudes towards white and black cats?
Absolutely. Despite our advances in scientific understanding, these deep-rooted cultural beliefs continue to shape our perceptions, often on a subconscious level. For instance, studies have shown that black cats typically have lower adoption rates in animal shelters compared to their lighter-colored counterparts. This phenomenon isn't limited to the West. It's observed globally, albeit with regional variations. In some Asian cultures, black cats are considered lucky, which challenges the Western stereotype.
That's a crucial point about the global variations in these perceptions. It raises an interesting question about the neurological processes at play. What do we know about how the human brain processes and attaches meaning to colors, particularly in the context of these feline stereotypes?
The neurological basis of color-based biases is fascinatingly complex. Our brains are wired to make quick associations, and color is a powerful visual cue that can trigger immediate emotional and cognitive responses. The amygdala, which processes emotions, and the hippocampus, involved in memory formation, play crucial roles in forming these associations. When we see a black or white cat, our brains rapidly access stored information and cultural narratives, influencing our immediate reaction. This process happens so quickly that we're often unaware of its occurrence, making these biases particularly challenging to overcome.
That's a profound insight into the unconscious nature of these biases. It seems that media representation could play a significant role in either reinforcing or challenging these stereotypes. How do you see the portrayal of white and black cats in popular culture impacting public perception?
Media representation is indeed a double-edged sword in this context. Historically, popular culture has often reinforced these stereotypes. Think of the countless depictions of black cats as omens of bad luck in literature and film. However, we're seeing a gradual shift. Modern media is increasingly challenging these narratives, presenting black cats in a positive light and raising awareness about the unfounded nature of these superstitions. This shift has the potential to rewire our cultural associations over time, demonstrating the powerful role media can play in reshaping deeply ingrained perceptions.
It's encouraging to see this potential for positive change through media representation. As we consider the impact of these perceptions on real-world outcomes, like adoption rates, it becomes clear that understanding the genetic and behavioral aspects of cat coloration is crucial. This leads us to an intriguing question. Is there more to the difference between white and black cats than meets the eye? As we delve deeper into the world of white and black cats, we find ourselves at the intersection of genetics, behavior, and health. The genetic basis of coat color in cats is a fascinating subject that goes far beyond mere aesthetics. Can you shed some light on the genetic mechanisms that determine whether a cat will be black or white?
Certainly. The genetics of cat coat color is a complex interplay of various genes. For black cats, the primary player is the melanin-producing gene. White cats, on the other hand, can result from several genetic pathways. One interesting gene is the KIT gene, which, when mutated, can result in a completely white coat. This gene doesn't just affect color, it's also involved in other developmental processes, which leads to some intriguing potential connections between coat color and other traits.
That's fascinating. It raises an important question. Do these genes responsible for coat color potentially influence other traits in cats? Are we seeing any correlations between coat color and behavior or health issues?
This is where the research gets really interesting. While it's crucial to avoid overgeneralizing, some studies have indeed found correlations. For instance, white cats with blue eyes have a higher incidence of congenital deafness. This is linked to the same genetic factors that produce their coat and eye color. As for behavior, it's more complex. Some studies suggest that orange cats tend to be more aggressive, while black cats are often reported as more sociable. However, it's essential to approach these findings with caution.
I'm glad you mentioned the need for caution. It seems like there's a fine line between acknowledging potential genetic influences and falling into the trap of stereotyping. How do researchers navigate this challenge when studying behavioral differences?
You've hit on a critical point. Researchers must be extremely careful to avoid confirmation bias and to control for environmental factors. Large-scale studies that account for various influences, like early socialization, living conditions, and human interaction, are crucial. It's also important to remember that while genes may predispose certain traits, they don't determine behavior absolutely. The emerging field of epigenetics is shedding light on how environmental factors can influence gene expression, adding another layer of complexity to this research.
The mention of epigenetics is intriguing. Could you elaborate on how this field might be changing our understanding of feline genetics and behavior?
Epigenetics is revolutionizing our understanding of genetics across species, including cats. It shows us that genes aren't destiny. Environmental factors can alter how genes are expressed without changing the DNA sequence itself. In cats, this could mean that experiences in early life, diet, or even human interaction could influence which genes are turned on or off, potentially affecting behavior and health. This field is still in its early stages for feline research, but it offers exciting possibilities for understanding the complex interplay between genetics and environment in shaping cat behavior.
This interplay between genetics and environment is fascinating. It seems to suggest that the differences between white and black cats might be more nuanced than we initially thought. How do you think this evolving understanding might impact the way we approach cat breeding or adoption practices?
That's an excellent question. As our understanding grows, it should lead to more informed and responsible breeding practices. Instead of focusing solely on aesthetics, breeders might pay more attention to genetic diversity and health outcomes. In terms of adoption, this knowledge could help dispel myths about certain coat colors being linked to specific personalities. It emphasizes the importance of considering each cat as an individual, shaped by both genes and environment, rather than making assumptions based on color alone.
Your point about individuality is crucial. It reminds us that while science can provide valuable insights, we must be careful not to overgeneralize. As we continue to unravel the complex relationship between genetics, appearance, and behavior in cats, it's clear that this research has implications far beyond the feline world. It prompts us to consider how these findings might reflect or inform broader societal issues related to perception and bias. As we conclude our exploration of white cats versus black cats, it's clear that this seemingly simple color distinction opens up a complex web of societal, scientific, and ethical considerations. The impact of these color-based perceptions extends far beyond the realm of feline companionship. How do you see the white-black cat dichotomy reflecting broader societal issues?
The way we perceive and treat cats based on their color is indeed a microcosm of larger societal dynamics. It reflects our tendency to make quick judgments based on superficial characteristics, which parallels issues of bias and discrimination in human societies. The persistence of superstitions about black cats, despite scientific evidence to the contrary, mirrors how deeply ingrained beliefs can resist rational scrutiny in various social contexts.
That's a profound observation. It seems that our treatment of differently colored cats could serve as a lens through which we examine human nature itself. What key lessons do you think we can draw from this exploration?
One crucial lesson is the power of representation and education in changing perceptions. Just as media portrayals can influence adoption rates of black cats, thoughtful representation in broader contexts can challenge societal biases. Additionally, this exploration highlights the danger of oversimplification. The complex interplay of genetics, environment, and individual personality in cats reminds us to approach human diversity with similar nuance and respect for individuality.
Those are valuable insights. As we think about practical applications, what strategies would you propose to combat color-based discrimination in animal adoption, and how might these strategies inform broader discussions on bias and discrimination?
To address color-based discrimination in animal adoption, we could implement blind initial adoption processes where color isn't the first thing potential adopters see. Education programs that debunk myths and showcase the individuality of cats regardless of color could be effective. Shelters could also use data to create targeted campaigns addressing specific biases in their communities. These approaches mirror strategies used to combat human discrimination, such as blind recruitment processes or education campaigns against racial stereotypes. By studying the effectiveness of these strategies in the context of cat adoption, we might gain insights applicable to broader societal issues of bias and discrimination.
Thank you for those thoughtful strategies. As we wrap up, it's clear that our exploration of white cats versus black cats has taken us on a journey far beyond fur-deep considerations. We've unraveled historical perceptions, delved into the complexities of genetics and behavior, and examined the broader societal implications of color-based biases. This discussion serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of superficial judgments and the importance of evidence-based understanding, whether we're considering cats or confronting larger societal issues. It underscores the need for continued education, responsible research, and a commitment to seeing beyond surface-level differences. By reflecting on our perceptions of these feline companions, we gain valuable insights into our own biases and the potential for positive change in broader contexts. Ultimately, this exploration challenges us to approach both cats and our fellow humans with greater empathy, understanding, and a willingness to look beyond initial appearances. Thank you for listening. This episode was generated on PodwaveAI.com. If you'd like to create your own personalized podcast, we invite you to visit our platform and explore the possibilities. Until next time.